Hey folks, Tim Anderson here, aka Renfill. I got some bed beard going on here. I just woke up from a slight nap, hanging out with Pippin and Sam back there, but it's time to get up and get back to it. For today's episode of Mondays in Middle Earth, we are on The Return of the King, Book 6, Chapter 4, The Field of Cormallen. I have no recollection of this chapter whatsoever. All I know is that this is like a post the ring getting thrown into the tower chapter. I'm assuming, I mean, I have vague like recollections, like there's the post battle stuff that gets into, Frodo waking back up and realizing he's not dead, that kind of stuff. So I think this is what this chapter's about, but it's been a long time since I've read this, like 20 plus years, so we're going to be getting into it. If this is the first time tuning into one of these episodes, every Monday at 9 a.m. Central, I release a chapter overview of the Lord of the Rings. We started with The Hobbit, we went into Lord of the Rings, and we will be getting into the Silmarillion after this. And then if the show continues to gain momentum, we might do stuff beyond the Silmarillion because I've never read like the histories of Middle Earth and stuff like that. So if you like this show, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Support if you can. The easiest way is with a membership here on the channel. There's 3 different tiers or a Patreon membership. You can also just do straight up super chats and stickers on premieres and live streams. There's some pre-programmed amounts you can do, but you can also plug in your own amount. Same thing with the super thanks after the video's been premiered and it's an upload. They're like washing in tandem. I don't know. They're different paths now. All right, let's get into it. Chapter 4, The Field of Cormallen. Apparently, everybody's taking baths right now. At least all the ones I've got in here. I wonder if the other ones are taking baths out in the rest of the house while these 3 are in here taking baths. That would be a trip if the 5 siblings were all taking baths at the same time, kind of like triplets do, quadruplets. What do you call 5? Quintuplets? Or is that 6? All about the hills, the hosts of Mordor raged. Let's get into this chapter. Aragorn stood beneath his banner, silent and stern, as one lost in thought of things long past or far away, but his eyes gleamed like stars that shine the brighter as the night deepens. So he's in a post, you know, sort of it's just he's I am the king. That's what that is. Gandalf stood and was white and cold, and no shadow fell upon him. The onslaught of Mordor broke like a wave. Oh, the eagles are coming, the eagles are coming. Straight down upon the Nazgul they bore. So this is going to start the debate. Why couldn't they have just sent the eagles and just put them in a superior? Why? 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 I don't know why. Who cares why? It's what you're supposed to enjoy the nuances of an author's mind, even if it doesn't necessarily always make logical sense. But the Nazgul turned and fled, and vanished into Mordor's showers, having heard a sudden terrible call out of the dark tower. So there's this giant shadow that comes out, but it says, as it comes out of Mordor, it's like towering up above them. It says terrible but impotent, and as it leaned towards them, the wind blew it away. And as the captains bowed their heads, and when they looked up again, beheld the enemies were flying, and the power of Mordor was scattering like dust on the wind. Dust in the wind. Is dust in the wind. Oh, this is when Gandalf basically is like, Aragorn, you be the king. I gotta go with the Eagles. Um, we got people to save. I am glad that you are here with me, said Frodo. Here at the end of all things, Sam. Frodo of the 9 fingers and the ring of doom. Oh, this is cool. So I have characters on one of the servers I play on in Lord of the Rings Online is Landroval. And I did not know that's where they got this name. So as the Gwahir with Gandalf swept down, and down came Landroval and Menildor the Swift. And in a dream, not knowing what fate had befallen them, the wanderers were lifted up and borne far away out of the darkness and the fire. That's a cool little detail. I did not know that, but that's going to stick with me now because I have that. I have characters on that server. Smeagol, are you waking up, buddy? When Sam awoke, he found that he was laying on some soft bed. Bless me, he mused. How long have I been asleep? What a dream I have had. I'm glad I'm awake. But then he sees Frodo's hand, and the third finger of the right hand is missing, and full memory flooded back, and Sam cried, It wasn't a dream. Where are we? And a voice behind him softly said, In the land of Ithilien, and in the keeping of the king, and he awaits you. And with that Gandalf stood before him, robed in white, his beard now gleaming like pure snow in the twinkling of the leafy sunlight. And this is awesome because it says here, Sam lay back and stared with open mouth, and for a moment between bewilderment and great joy he could not answer it. Because remember, they don't they have not known this whole time that Gandalf was still alive. Like they thought Gandalf fell in Moria. And so this whole time that they've been out there adventuring through the bleakness of Mordor with no hope, they literally thought that they were going to their doom and carried out their mission anyway. Suicide mission is what they thought it was. And they did it because of the fate of the world. And here they are. Um, and Gandalf's in front of them. And I love Sam's reaction. He's like, Is everything sad going to come untrue? What's happening to the world? And Gandalf replies that a great shadow has departed. And then he laughed, and the sound was like music, or like water in a parched land. And as he listened, the thought came to Sam that he had not heard laughter, the pure sound of merriment, for days upon days without count. And then he starts crying. Who's the king? Asked Sam. The king of Gondor and the lord of the western lands, said Gandalf, and he has taken back all his ancient realm. See, they don't know who the king is either, because they've literally they've been out of the loop, man. Uh-huh. Long live the halflings, praise them with great praise. Yes, Sam Strider. It is a long way, is it not, from Bree when you did not like the look of me? A long way for all of us, but yours has been the darkest road. And then, to Sam's surprise and utter confusion, he bowed his knee. I'm going to cry a little bit. And taking them by his hand, Frodo upon his right and Sam on his left, he led them to the throne, and setting them upon it, turned to the men and captains who stood by and spoke, so that his voice rang out over all the host, crying, Praise them with great praise. Oh, man. And Sam, they give the speech, the bard, and everything else, and and the bard's singing. He said, "Listen to me, listen to my lay, for I will sing to you now, Frodo of the Nine Fingers, and the Ring of Doom." And Sam laughed aloud for sheer delight and stood up and cried, "Oh, great glory and splendor! All my wishes have come true." And then he wept. I'm fucking weeping. I'm weeping right now. But he called it, He was like, "Oh, Mr. Frodo, one day there's gonna be ballads." I'm like literally, I need tissue. I don't think I have any. Oh man. Sorry, everybody. You get me in my full glory when I read these sometimes. Oh, they've got the mithril coat. Gandalf's got it. Oh, did we trade? We traded cats out apparently while I was reading. Um, Smeagol went out and Lucas came in. What's up, buddy? I'm a little stressed because my niece is here and he gets all upset. All right. This is when they realize they meet Merry and Pippin again. Uh, and they've grown since the last time they saw them. So this is the part where Sam is making them stand back to back next to Frodo, and he's like, "How did you grow 3 inches? This isn't supposed to be possible." And Gimli replies that mortals cannot go drinking ent draughts and expect no more to come of them than of a pot of beer. So that's actually a short chapter. Like I can't. I'm like done with that one already. Um, okay. It was an unexpected. I turned the page, and it was literally like a fraction of a sentence. There in the midst of the field, they set up the pavilions and waited the morning, for it was the eve of May, and the king would enter his gates with the rising of the sun. And then it ends. I didn't realize that it was going to end that quickly. So I guess this is a shorter chapter this week. Next week, we're going to be into chapter 5, The Steward and the King. I vaguely remember this because I think he, you know, if I remember correctly, Aragorn takes the throne but keeps the stewardship in place. It's been a long time. I don't remember this exactly, but we're going to be getting into next week. So, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. so you never miss an update as we continue with the Mondays in Middle-earth show as we read through The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, The Silmarillion, and hopefully beyond. Support if you can with memberships here on YouTube or over on the Patreon page. There's cool perks over there. That supports my wife, my brother, and I together. Here on YouTube, you support me and Chris, my wife. You can also do super chats and stickers on these premieres or super thanks after the fact. Pre-programmed amounts are down below. Click. I think YouTube gives you 3 options, but you can pick your own. Thanks to those of you who do drop $10 here, $20 there, whatever you can. Keeps me on the air full time, keeps the bills paid, keeps me doing this, which is awesome, and it shows me that y'all appreciate what I got going on here. So until next time, you can say goodnight to Pippin, who's over that shoulder. Sam is over here. Luke is down here on the bed. Yeah, buddy. Thanks everybody. See you next week.